All right, we're here at a bitterly cold Etihad Stadium, but what a game, what a game. Manchester City right back in the title race, a 2-1 win over Liverpool. Was that as good as you've seen in the Premier League this season?
It is, yeah. Now, as I said before the game, what a game to be able to commentate on. It's unbelievable game. Fast-paced, high-pressing from both teams. Great spectacle, and just shows the differences at this level. It's such a minute difference, and half a yard off it, and it's all about inches, what you say.
Why did City win that game?
I think they dominated the game to begin with. They had the control of the game. Although Liverpool got back in it, there was no real danger from them. Although they had that chance in the first half, Jon Walters cleared off the line. I think City were the better team. Whatever it was, they had the better game plan. And when it mattered most, they're the ones that were most clinical and put the ball in the back of the net.
The most important player on the pitch, it seemed, was Fernandinho. It is bitterly cold. I cannot stress enough quite how cold. He was seen as a tough man in the Premier League, not to forget. He's shaking here. It's about -3 at the moment, so we won't keep you too long. But you were raving about Fernandinho's performance, and there were questions about whether or not he would start this game, about his fitness. But he absolutely ran the show out there today.
Yeah, and we questioned whether they were going to make two changes and put De Bruyne and him in there with it at this level and the pace of the game, the fitness the boys need. He was right up to scratch, and look how quiet he kept the Liverpool front three, because they like to drop into holes. They like that space in between the midfield and defence and make things happen. And every time there was a bit of danger, he sniffed it out and set up City to go and attack. And he gives you that base to play from. It just shows in the past month how much they have missed him.
Sometimes you just need a scrapper.
You need a scrap and someone that does all the unseen work. And although he's only slight and he may not seem as much of him, he's by far the standout player today.
It's seen in a way as well as the one area of the pitch that maybe Manchester City don't have any backup right now. And you were making the point during commentary that maybe there's a 19-year-old out there who that maybe already is at the level the City might be looking at.
I think he had a difficult start to the season. You're talking about Declan Rice, he had a difficult start to the season. Out the team, he's come in, made the position his own. He's unbelievable, and every time I watch him, it's a composure for a 19-year-old. We talk about young players now in the Premier League, 22, 21, 22, 23. He's 19, he's played a full season. It's the second one. He's a standout player for me for West Ham. He's so composed on the ball, gets stuck in, does all the work that Fernandinho does there. So if it's one of the big clubs, I said it last week, although he's signed a new contract, he's one player we'll be looking at.
Yeah, he's maybe, if anything, just raised his value. But from what you've seen of him, and you'll have trained with him, you'll have seen him during the summer with the games with the Republic of Ireland, you think he's good enough to get to this level?
Yeah, I think he is. He's got the mentality in terms of he's signed a new contract. That won't go to his head. He'll be putting down and working twice as hard. If he can do that, his composure on the ball it's his class on the ball. He wants the ball in any position. He gets it in any position. I've seen that when we played like France, for example, and somebody playing against world-class players. He always shone for the ball. He always wanted it. He sniffs out danger, left foot, right foot, and does the unseen work. He's good in the air. He's played centre half, whether that's his position, and he's just coming into midfield. He's just looks composed on the ball.
Everything you're saying is either unbelievably good news or unbelievably depressing, depending on what decision he makes over the coming months. People have very, very strong views on this, particularly since he was in the squad and you were in the squad as well. Where do you stand on the decision that he faces and what can be done and what should be done and what he should be thinking about?
Look, I touched upon a minute ago, we had a difficult start to the season, and I spoke about this earlier on in the season. Perhaps it was a time for him to get his head down and knuckle on being a West Ham player. For a 19-year-old, there's a lot of pressure to be put on his shoulders. He's played for Ireland, a very good player, and one you'd welcome with open arms of how good he is and what he can do for the country. But you know, he's taken time away. Nothing could have happened between now and March anyway. He can't play because there's no game, so I'm sure a decision will be made. But speaking on behalf of myself, you know, you do want him included.
Can you text him there and beg him?
Do you want me to?
The nation wants you to, particularly what you've just been saying.
I'm sure people have spoke to him anyway. I've spoke to him, but I'll keep that to myself. You know what I've said, but of a player of his quality, you want him involved. Of course we do. But he's 19. You've got to realise that there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and as you said, a lot of people that have had strong views about it. It's difficult for him. 19, just signed a new contract at West Ham. Everything's going for him. there'll be time to make that decision, I'm sure.
We've moved slightly off topic after watching the game of the season so far. Where they go from here then, from Liverpool's point of view, their first defeat of the season, questions are now going to be asked about their mentality, about how they respond from this. They've got, on paper, a good run of fixtures coming up over the next 5-6 weeks. Did you see enough in Liverpool tonight to worry you? Or was it, as I say, a game of such fine margins that actually they're not that far off? They played arguably the best team in Europe and have come very, very close, and there's no reason they can't respond.
No, look, they're not far off. They've got the players, and more so the attacking players are always going to score goals no matter what. They're always going to create chances. That front three is unstoppable, really. They scored tonight, but they were quite quiet all over the pitch. So they've got that depth. Shaqiri to come off the bench. Fabinho came off the bench. Sturridge, who can create something different.
Did he get his selection wrong tonight? When you look at how good Fernandinho was in the middle of that midfield, he left Fabinho out, who's been arguably Liverpool's best player over the past month, leaving him on the bench, bringing Jordan Henderson in. Did he get that wrong?
There's very small differences, isn't there? I think what happens if Stones doesn't clear it off the line, or does clear it, hits Salah, goes in, Company gets sent off, then he's got a selection right. So very, very minute details. I don't think they had the chances. Look, they had the chances. Salah had one where the keeper made an unbelievable save. But it's just interesting for me what they will do in this transfer window. To Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Will they add, and where will they add? For me, I think they need to look at the centre-half position. They've got Van Dijk. Lovren is caught on his heels there. Whether he's... For me, he's a little bit of a weak link tonight. Got caught on his heels for the first goal. There will be question marks on, did they go for an Alderweireld from Tottenham, who has triggered a new contract at Tottenham, but that's a 25 million release clause has been triggered. What's been said in the press, is that a cheap buy for someone like Liverpool, or is he going to Man U? I'm pretty sure he'll be going, but that'll be a great addition if you ask me.
You see, you're still a player and you're talking about fine margins and it could have gone this way. When you're a pundit, you're going to have to talk about this for next week and make decisive decisions about everything you've just witnessed, whether or not that was cleared off the line or not. You want me to shut up asking you questions. One last thing. When are we going to see you back playing?
I saw the specialist before Christmas, and it's still on track for another 3 months. It's been 3 months, so that's 6 months in total. I said just a minute ago, I'm doing everything I can, working as hard as possible to exhaustion every single day in the gym. I'm doing as much as I can to get back as fit and as quickly as possible.
And I'd imagine not just for Burnley for the end of the season, but a new Ireland manager, Euro 2020, the buzz that's coming back to the national team with the change of management, that's very much front of mind as well.
Yeah, look, we've had no bones about it, we've had a very difficult year. The whole vibe around the place with the year we've had, and the fans, the media, the players, it wasn't all together. There's a new manager now. It's just got to be anything. It's got to be positive. It's going to be. We've got a good start to the qualifying campaign, say in Gibraltar, and the games we've got to go into that. So hopefully it's going to create a positive atmosphere, a positive vibe, and hopefully we can hit the ground running. Fingers crossed, yeah.
Great stuff, John. I probably extended your period out for about another 3 months by keeping you out here in the cold. Great stuff, Jon Walters, and what a night at the Etihad.